buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no war. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo bears, a Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron.
Monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
We're together, monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French together, wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français. Ooh la la.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Where else do you find mounted police or go to the hospital and not pay fees? I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when fresh water's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can be.
We're together, monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French together, wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no war. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo bears, a Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron.
We're together, monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French together, wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates, can build a wall like the Chinese, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. In Kenya they have safaris with mixed lots of other countries, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all our sons' command. Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la gloire. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus belles.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Even if in winter things tend to freeze, we got the world monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
We're together, monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French together, wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français.
to the hospital and not pay fees. I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when freshwater's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can be.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French have got the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, get ready, there is no war. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo bears, a Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French have got the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates, can build a wall like the Chinese, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. In Kenya they have safari.
Hello, TC. Hello, TC. How are you? Oh, that is blurry.
Old man.
That is so blurry. I don't know why that's so blurry.
It is.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
I
not-
probably wouldn't notice for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I've never seen the screen so blurry like that. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Hi, Blue. I mean, it doesn't look like that with OBS, so that's not on my end.
Steve!
I think that has
Yeah,
to do with
I
YouTube.
Lack of sex causes bad eyesight.
I don't think that's the cause of this one. I think this is just YouTube. This one. There we go. There we go. We gotta click that up there. Yeah, YouTube is slow for me. Sometimes it lags.
Hmm.
Hi, Steve.
Gee. I got the munchies. And the dill pickle chips. Yeah.
I see. I had a bit of a crazy one. It was just like nothing in the morning. I just had to clean my bathroom. My mom wants to get a wraparound thing for the toilet for my brother. I'm like, actually, that might work, because then I could just get him to pick it up and throw it in the washer, and then I don't have to worry about his pee as much. I mean, I still do, and I told her that, but whatever floats her boat. Anyway, I cleaned the floor and the walls. And then I had to wait until about 3:30 so I could go run around, and then I did that. So I have my bong. I have not smoked yet today. BG, did you know? This is my first little hit today. Ah. I don't know that makes me, you proud of me or not. Like, oh, look, Jen can go almost a whole day without a joint. I ain't that bad.
Actually, what's more rare is that I'm in the clouds and you're not.
That is actually true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, I do okay without the pot. I admit that there are some things that I like. Like if the world went into apocalypse mode and I didn't have pot, I would be okay with that because my priorities would be different. But yeah, anyway, I stand by my plan. I think that my plan is to get the idea out there, that people need to get the idea into Elon's head. And I realize that the guy isn't just made out of money. And to be fair, he's in charge of his own money. But I think he's on a similar page to a lot of people in terms of this whole freedom of speech shit. And so I'm just like, hey, Elon, when you're done buying Twitter, do you think you want to get on the YouTube square? Because if you owned Twitter and YouTube, free reign for entertainment, we could get back to what we were doing before.
A lot of his tweets were that this was more than just an economic buy.
Mm-hmm. I think that if he goes the route that he's going, and yeah, and I know I'm being uppity with my whole buy YouTube thing too, but I mean what I said. Freedom of speech plus videos equals more entertainment. Now, does the world revolve around entertainment? No. The world revolves around people getting their shit together and living. But here's the thing. We're so stuck on living right now that we can't even just have like a little sit down of entertainment. Even the poorest of the poor need a little bit of entertainment sometimes. It takes your mind off the fact that your life is kind of boring or not always doing what you want it to be. You know, so when everything that we look to for entertainment is like silenced or taken away or dictated to, like, well, you're not allowed to like that entertainment, or you're not allowed to like that kind of entertainment. So I'm like, Elon, please. Like I said, do what you want to do. It's your own money. I'm only talking to you like this because you're the guy with the big bucks, and you I think you're desperate for entertainment too. Buy YouTube. Guaranteed there are so many scrubs with who could run circles around Hollywood right now, who would love to entertain everybody, who they just need someone to notice so that they could get funding. YouTube did that. It did. It let people know, hey, these people over here, they're fucking entertaining and they're talented. Let's get those guys some money, because they're not sitting there like bad touching children or dictating to me what I should be doing with my life. They're just funny. So a little bit of light humor so that I can prepare for the next day when I have to go to work. You know? You roboted it a little bit. So that usually means I gotta turn you up.
Oh, I roboted a little bit?
You did a little. It's all good.
Yeah, that means my internet is not being awesome. The fuck?
Sure, I turned you up a little bit. I'm gonna turn you up too, Drucker, because sometimes you're just quiet in general, or you're just not talking, because that's true too.
I'm not talking yet.
I know, but sometimes when you do, you're really quiet, and YouTube doesn't like to pick you up for some reason, and I don't know. I don't get that, because you've got like the deepest voice out of all of us, because you're the dude. I'm like, YouTube, you should be picking up on that.
Wait, Trucker's
No,
the
actually,
dude?
I'm a guy. Wait, did
Right?
you just assume my gender?
I just assumed you're baritone.
The wrong gender? Trucker's a dude?
I just assumed you're baritone.
You know,
I'm just saying,
the
I'd like to
actual
have,
irony
I'd like to have some diversity of sound.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember if somebody tweeted at Elon Musk or Elon Musk tweeted it next, or tweeted it, but somebody made the comment about Elon buying McDonald's next and fixing all the ice cream machines.
Right? Oh, there's just some miracles. Is that how he responded to? I think he did.
I think he did respond to it. Yeah.
Just like he can't cure all problems, you know? Like he's he is the Rocket Man, though. I've discovered that I wouldn't call him a comedian. This is the thing. A guy can be funny as shit and not necessarily be a comedian. He is a meme lord, though. Like, he is.
Oh my God, he has a shit poster and an awesome one at that.
Also, for little facts about him, and I only really know this because, like, Elon has been, like, barfed everywhere. No offense, Elon. I actually kind of like you, but, like, everything to do with you is everywhere. But just so you know, BG, did you know that he's actually autistic? Elon Musk is autistic.
That would explain a lot, actually.
Yeah. Just because you're autistic doesn't mean that you can't go places. He used to be non-functioning too. His beginning years, he couldn't talk.
Oh. Interesting.
One thing that's actually kind of awesome about him and the whole situation is there's a gal on TikTok called the African Hippie, gal from Kenya, and she loves putting up the whole who's the most famous African American in American history, and brings up Elon Musk. she's been sitting here, and she's been sitting there pulling that for, months at this point, long before Elon, you know, even thought about Twitter. Well, buying Twitter. Because he's definitely been a shit poster on Twitter for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I find it funny. I definitely find it interesting that everybody's been screaming about Section 230 reform. That's the whole publisher versus platform thing.
Mm.
And everybody's been defending Twitter, saying private company, private company, private company, right up until Elon buys it.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden everybody wants to, reform Section 230 to the point where the U.S. now has its own
Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
Whoever named it that should be fired out of general principle. And
Well, no,
I'm
it's not
saying this
actually.
is somebody who was a Harry Potter fan.
Well, no. Wait. Harry Potter? What?
Just so you
What?
know, the Ministry of Truth, the name,
1984.
I know.
1984, Jen.
I know, but it also comes from Harry Potter.
Ay, ay, ay.
I hate
Oh,
to break
God
it to you,
damn.
the people that you're arguing with haven't read 1984. But I guarantee you they've
1984
read
was
Harry
written in
Potter.
the 50s. Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I know you didn't want to hear that, but the truth is that the people who named it that got it from Harry Potter. Don't get me wrong. I
Oh my
wish they got
God,
it from your
1984
source.
was a book before J.K. Rowling was born.
Yeah, and the first person to use the whatever of truth was actually referring to 1984.
I know. I'm sorry, but the
Wow.
people that you're talking to don't really know that things past 2020 happen. So,
All right. So, what is that? It's like the Board of Misinformation or something. It's actually part of Department of Homeland Security, which at this point, Department of Homeland Security has turned into exactly what a lot of people warned it from happening, an all-encompassing government enforcement agency. And that's exactly what it's become, especially now that it's got a board of misinformation in it.
mhm.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
1984 was not supposed to be an instruction manual, ladies and fucking gentlemen.
Neither was Harry Potter.
Especially not Harry Potter.
I mean, like, if you go onto Twitter or anywhere right now, it's Harry Potter memes. This is the clown world we now live in. You have better material like the one that Trucker Matt mentioned, which actually has valid material in it. And then you've got the people who are running our country, who've read Harry Potter.
Hey.
They're still pissed at the fact that J.K. Rowling isn't on their side anymore either. I mean, she would be if they wouldn't be so, like, stickler
She's
for
a
the rules.
turf.
That's the problem. On
She
minority
was all- she was
disagreement,
com-
and she is no longer a part of the tolerance camp.
It makes me rethink, but I want to order surf and turf.
Right? You now have to, yeah, I know.
I mean, in every other aspect, J.K. Rowling is definitely a leftist. Lives in a 40-some bedroom mansion, talking about how we need to take in all these refugees and take care of them all.
Was dead
without
set
lifting a
on
finger to
making
helping
sure.
Annie herself.
Well, she wanted everyone to know that Dumbledore was gay. I'm like, I'm sorry, JK, I hate to break it to you, but everyone was hoping that Harry would be gay. I mean, not the
Nope.
regular normal
Nope,
people.
no.
But the
Nope,
weirdos
nope,
on
nope.
Hmm?
Dumbledore's not gay in China.
Well, yeah, not in China, but she wanted Dumbledore to be gay. She also wanted Hermione to be black, and I'm like, well, then you should have made her black in the books. That's all there is to it. I wouldn't have given a shit. She wasn't, so you just replaced another character
Well-
so you could fulfill your,
Well, to be fair, when it comes to pop culture reference, I
Mhm.
mean, with who they have been, race swapping to black characters, the entire Weasley family should have been
I know, right?
black. Just saying, because it's the redheads they turn Anyway,
I would have been okay with that. Like, no offense, but I didn't care for Ginny as a character. I felt she was too blank. As a character, she
Ginny?
didn't have a character.
which one's Ginny?
Ginny Weasley was the one that Harry ends up marrying in the books.
Okay.
I
Does
just
he walk around going, "I love you, Ginny"?
John R. Like she was Ron's little sister, and she was just like this little kid who had a crush on him, and then all of a sudden he notices her, and I'm like, okay, that would have made sense, but at no point did they actually make it clear she had her own personality. It was either I'm shy of Harry, I'm just like my brothers. There was no actual personality there. I was like, Luna had a personality, Hermione had a personality, hell, Draco had a girlfriend who had a personality. She was a bitch. And then there's Ginny, and I'm like,
Jen, but I think this should have made this Flying Girl. This should have made Hermione black because then they might have gotten a better.
that too. That too. Because Emma has never been anything other than Hermione. I don't think she knows how to.
Hermione.
Yeah, she plays herself.
I don't think she can act.
I don't think so either. That's why they picked her. She was like just close enough to the Hermione character that they were like, well, okay.
Bland and no personality.
Mm-hmm. I'm a bookworm.
I look like a 9-year-old boy.
And I'm sitting there like, Hermione, do you know how all those books got written? It's because some asshole had to be a little bit brave and disobey some of the rules just long enough to make something exist.
Yep.
I know it's not always the safest way to go, which is why they usually have history of those characters dying, because that's how it happens in history,
Not to be disparaging to women. I'm actually not.
Mhm.
But it's because of different tasks we evolved to do. But most of those books would have been written by men because women tend to be risk averse.
Mhm.
Men tend to be pro risk.
Mm-hmm. I mean, culturally speaking, I mean, I could see the odd witch doing something like that too, just because there's always the odd crazy person.
Yep.
But you're not wrong. It's a thing. Like, women aren't inclined to be the ones to play around with the chemicals that would have blown you up, like our guys used to do back in the day.
I did see you pulling angry face on the stream there, mind, Jen.
I didn't mean to.
There's another one.
Is it?
Witch.
Or is that just
Witch.
resting?
Witch face?
No, I actually think it's just resting. I don't know what I'm thinking face.
Uh,
I do this a lot. I don't even think it's resting bitch face. I have resting dirt face and resting I don't know what I'm doing.
You dare not have a bitch face anyway. Yeah, that's another nice thing I've said about you. You're going for the hat trick.
I do get a lot of the I'm not sure if you're really that cheerful looks though. Or maybe it's the you're too cheerful this time of the morning looks, because I do get those.
What have you been putting in your coffee looks?
Yeah. It's one of those things I appreciate
On
about
on the subject of witches,
uh-huh.
yeah, in my youth I used to hang about with a lot of occultists and
Okay.
actual witches. And witch isn't a gendered term, or it didn't used to be.
Mhm.
It is culture. Witches are either male or female. A warlock is a male witch who is in charge of a coven. I forget what the female version is, but they're not called witches. If they're in charge of a coven, they're like the 13th member of coven,
Mhm.
and they're in charge. If it's a man, he's called a warlock. I forget what the female version is though.
Well,
But otherwise, they're just witches.
Well, isn't that a thing? Like, I mean, witchcraft used to be it's not a cult. It used to be a religion. And I don't know if I'm getting it from the right thread, because I think it came from different sources and then blended. But my first response to witches comes from the Greek god, Hecate.
Hecate.
Yeah.
How have you pronounced it?
Yeah, basically. I don't know how to pronounce it either. It's Greek, for one. I don't
Yeah, 'cause
speak a lot of Greek.
she also got mixed with Artemis,
Mhm.
because you've got the three faces of Artemis. You've got the maiden,
Mhm.
the mother, and the crone. And Hecate or Hecate, she got mixed up with the crone a lot.
Yeah. So it's not like I see it as I could see it as having like head priests, priestesses, and just not being interpreted the way it was meant to be. Like, it's not like I'm not going to point fingers at the Christians because, it is kind of them, but at the same time, they tried to absorb a lot of it too.
And that's a general difference between wizards and witches.
Mm-hmm.
Witches tend to use charms, amulets, and ceremonies involving many people, right?
Mhm.
Like the Coven. Wizard, that's the one who casts spells by themselves and lives in a tower and shit like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Merlin.
Mhm.
Merlin didn't have a coven, and he was a learned man from books and stuff like that. That's another reason why they're called wizards. Yeah, it's from the word wise.
Yep. I've
I
never.
just see what Stephen put in the chat there.
Yeah, I did a feeble version of a warlock as a cock block because you can't have any fun.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. A crone? No, and that's not true. Crones aren't necessarily witches. They're just old ladies.
Yeah, they don't have to be old ladies either.
Mhm.
I think it means old lady now, but originally the word didn't.
Maybe
'Cause
that's
you-
the original Karen.
I don't know. I think it might be something to do with spinster.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
Also
got young
Karen.
Shakespeare who got called crone. And
Mhm.
I can now hear Chucker, turning his mic off and yelling nerds at us.
Are you sure that would be trucker?
Maybe.
Well, I didn't because you would have anyway.
Better?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make you happy, Bathy.
Thank you. Because that's another thing my occultist friends always told me. When it comes to the old magics, the old religions, there was a duality. You needed the masculine power and the feminine power to intertwine to make the magic work.
He is a
Either
little
phys-
bit quiet.
either physically or symbolically. Apparently, that's one of the reasons why the symbol of the heal of doctors is the staff the staff of the healer.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is a staff with a serpent twined around it. That's a symbolic intertwining of male and female.
Mhm. So now the other thing with witchcraft, and I don't know if this is just misinterpretations from North Americans or yet again getting information from the wrong sources, but the other form of witchcraft, which isn't witchcraft, is our interpretation of Celtic. Because I find there's a lot of crossover with Celtic and the Greek version of it. And it has to do with the horns. Like, a lot of places seem to want to put like antlers on things.
Yeah. Do a lot of what we call witchcraft. You're right. That's got a lot of Celtic and Saxon and
Mhm.
Norse in it because that's during the Christian period where
Mhm.
these religions they've been stamped out, but they tended to revive.
Mhm.
But they revived with bits and pieces of others.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't have a little bit to do with Rome too, because it's not like those people didn't have interactions at that time. It's just I could see them doing it in their own way because the Celts and like the Germanic tribes and yeah, you're right, the Nordics, like they had their own take on things too. If they wanted to do something, they did it, kind of like they do now. They still do it, by the way, Batman. Do you notice that they still do that shit? They
Well, apparently, if you go into the back country in Greece, there are villages which they might have a church.
Mhm.
They're not Christian.
Yep.
They still worship the old gods.
A credible threat.
I'd like to visit those places for it, though. Like I it's not a dislike for Christianity. It's just I like seeing original religions. I like the history of it too, the stories and
like
stuff
that.
like that.
You know that that hymn, "Give Me That Old Time Religion."
Mhm.
I always have this funny. Well, I think it's funny. This funny sketch how it's got these people singing it by a river, and then these Celtic warriors come up, kidnap them, and put them all in a wicker man and burn them.
Yeah, I actually know what that's about now. I mean, we still have a Wicker Man. Obviously, it's not the same thing because we don't burn people alive in it, but knowing what that was based off of, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the people that sacrificed in that though
Yeah.
would be there were murderers, rapists, and the biggest of all criminal in Celtic society, the Oathbreaker.
hmm
Mostly people that would have gotten the chair in places that carry the death penalty.
Yeah, my understanding is for other forms of sacrifice, it was a little bit more rare to do it other ways. Like, it's not that it didn't happen, but it was more of like, you know, this crop failed this year and then it failed for the next 3 years. You might kill a slave or something. You know, a
Yeah,
kidnapped
or-
slave from another tribe.
Yeah, or trick a Scottish policeman from the mainland to come to your village.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
It's-
you've seen the film, haven't you?
I'm not judging anyone who did that. I'm saying that that's just a thing that did happen, but everywhere has that.
The problem
I'm more
was
fond of when they did it to
Victorians.
Nicolas Cage.
No, it's just England has a lot of bogs and holes in the ground.
The entirety of the British Isles do.
hmm
But that's a problem with modern historians.
Mhm.
They judge the past by modern standards.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't.
No. I still
That's
think
one
it's neat
thing
though.
Taught in history,
Mm-hmm.
we got taught. You look at the past. You take it for what it is. You don't try and put your own modern morality on it because it doesn't fit.
Mm-mm. In all honesty, they're no different anyway. They act like they are, but our society isn't any less brutal. We're just more sophisticated with it. Actually, we're
Yeah, I
less
agree.
sophisticated with it because back in the day, they were more to the point. You're kind of not somebody who's productive to society. So we're going to put you in such a way that you're going to die.
Yeah.
We're no different. We
Yep,
really
you're not wrong.
kind of aren't.
And the people who go on about the Native Americans had their land stolen by these horrible. The Native Americans at the time, their only complaint was the white people had better weapons than they did, and there was more of. Other than that, they were. See, we were just doing what they did.
They would have happily taken us out too because it's not like they
Yeah.
weren't aware of what we were doing.
It wasn't like they weren't doing it themselves to each other.
Like, the minute they saw us, it was like, unless you're here to trade with me, you can F the fuck off. And anyone saying they weren't doing that isn't aware of reality.
Yep.
Like, who the fuck are you? You clearly don't look like me. For one, that's a tip. It's usually what we go for. And this idea that we're less racist because we look the same? Bro! Most of the
White man
racism
speak.
in my country comes from white people on other white people.
White man speak with forked tongue.
Like, no offense. Like, you know, I mean,
Right.
you might get somebody who's a dick to someone who's clearly a person of color,
Yeah.
but the minute we know that you're another white person, all games are off.
Right, it's like I was watching the Metatron before it came here. He was on about that Netflix Vikings Valhalla. And they've got this black female Jarl. Yeah, that would have been a Jarl Skona, actually, because it is a gendered term like every other noble title. But he's going on. Yeah, they're trying to portray the Norse as inclusive and not racist. They were very racist, just as like anybody. If you weren't Norse,
Mhm.
they'd treat you as something less.
Mhm.
If you weren't a Dane, the Danes would treat you as something less. If you weren't a Swede, the Swedes would treat you as something less. I mean, that's amongst other white people.
It's like the minute people
We're all the
realize
same.
that you don't sound the same, you know, because yeah, we do look similar to each other, but yet again, we don't look the same. Like, I guarantee you I don't look anything like that man, and I know that's because he's a dude and I'm a woman, but he's also from the British Isles. I probably have more in relations to the
You might be a
German,
gender.
you know, like I probably do have more in relation to like Germans, to be
You
honest.
kind of look Irish, actually.
I could be. I'm mixed as far as Canadians and North Americans go. I am a mixed
right.
pup.
That's another thing. They keep
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, Europe's always been like a multicultural and multi-ethnic place." No, it hasn't. Because once over, you could tell by looking at somebody if they were English,
Mhm.
if they were Scottish or Irish or Welsh.
Mhm.
I mean, you do see a lot of that in places in America where it's mainly Irish communities that have gone over.
Mhm.
They've got a certain shape of face, especially around the jaw and the mouth. Yeah, certain shape to the cheekbones.
He said
I mean,
Jordy.
that's it's spelled with a G-E. No, I'm not.
Careful when it comes to talking about shapes of cheekbones. That's how Elizabeth Warren got in trouble.
Ba-dum-tsh. Yeah, and six is so far south. He's almost French.
Well, I would say that much because I just don't have a round enough face to really. So, like, my understanding is if I was a little bit closer in relation to, like, say, like Russians or something, I would probably have more of an Asian shape to my face. That's not across the board, but I've noticed that that's a thing. Like, it's not an unattractive thing. It's just they do look a little bit more Asian. I figure I probably do have more in line with like a mix between Germanic and Irish. I just haven't gotten tested because honestly, as somebody from North America, it doesn't really matter. Outside of it being kind of, oh neat, my ancestry's from there. It doesn't change my life at this point. Other than to be like, oh, okay, well that's where I'm from.
Sixers Tales, yo!
And French. Into French. I don't think I have the French though. I don't.
Just winding him up. It's a good lad, is Sixer. I don't know about Credible Threat. I think there's something dodgy about Credible Threat.
Is it a credible threat?
Dro, you're late.
Hi, Drew.
Uh-oh, Dro's here. It means the discourse is about to hit the damn toilet.
Yep. That's it. You're going to get inundated with rude and disgusting Streamlabs.
Technically, we're late. We were late by like a half hour because of running around and, you know, I just...
Sixer is at work.
I also had one of those moments today. I know everybody in here can understand me at least a little bit. Well, maybe not the boys. I think the boys are smarter than me. But you know when you set up to go out to go grab stuff and you're like, I'm gonna switch out wallets or you're gonna switch out a coat and you put the item that helps you pay for stuff on a counter so that you can switch it into the next pocket, and then you go and you leave and you forget that you did that. And you get to the place that you're supposed to be, and you're like, God damn it, I have to walk all the way home and all the way back just to get the thing that I actually needed to get.
I don't know about Batsy, but I got a tendency to leave everything, keys, wallet, pocket knife, you know, all the stuff I carry around with me. I leave in the pants I wear the day before until it's time to get ready to do anything. I just grab the pants and move everything straight over from one pocket to another.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you suffered from my shit and then you switched your pattern.
Yeah, I think we all do.
No, it's all at once.
Six's Tales lost subsidy. Let's
Oh.
blame the French Navy for that.
Is this on Twitter or on YouTube? Because Twitter's kind of been a little bit weird about it.
You lost
It's
5.
definitely been interesting.
I mean, I've gained a few, but I also haven't been on mass. Like, I've been more retweeting than necessarily starting stuff. I find most of the people who are growing are actually starting stuff. And that is a part of how you grow on Twitter. Like, don't be afraid of getting your fingers a little bit dirty. Twitter is dirty like that. But
Yep.
I enjoy the fact that I can engage a little bit more, or I can say things a little bit more without fear of other retaliation. Would I necessarily put anything on there? No. For the same reason that you shouldn't on Facebook. At least not if you plan on getting a job. I do still put my opinion on there, but... Uh-oh. We got a donation.
Blue_or_box donated $3 Bitch better have my money.
I gotta open the donations thing.
Blue or Box said, bitch better have my money.
Oh, thank God.
Didn't I remember to send that to
Oh,
Jukebox?
for a,
I
f-
maybe did.
yeah, for a frightening second there, I thought it was going to be one of Big Drew's.
I think you're gonna see Twitter still doing shenanigans until he's completely finalized everything. At best, I could see there being some people just giving their all until the last minute, and I could see some people still being not on the right memo. Like, don't do that shit anymore. I would imagine there's still some people not up to date with that because there's always the last minute stragglers who are still stuck in their routine. So don't expect everything to be fixed right away anyway.
Yeah.
Just
There's a lot
Mhm.
of people being unbanned from Twitter. Their accounts reactivated though.
yeah, I'm really hoping for Alex Jones. Like, and I'm saying this as someone who wasn't even a hardcore fan because I wasn't. Like, at best, I knew him as my ex's favorite thing. He really liked to meme people with Alex Jones. It was his way of expressing himself when he was being funny. You know, in the middle of a conversation, he would just Alex Jones you out of the nowheres. Yeah, I want people to have that back because, you know, even if I didn't care for it, I thought it was funny enough that other people enjoyed it. I'd like him to be back.
I want to see the bizarre Alex
Mhm.
Jones yelling about them turning the friggin' frogs straight.
Right? And I'm grateful that these people are actually getting criticism for the first time in probably 4 years because a lot of them don't have that.
See, there's the thing, mind the difference between the left and the right. If
Mhm.
Twitter had been kind of right wing, right?
Mhm.
Not too right wing, obviously. And Alex Jones had been a screaming lefty, he wouldn't have been banned because he's just going to give himself enough rope to hang himself with.
Mhm.
Another good thing is they don't really talk for long enough, and they hang themselves.
Lucky Charms donation. It ain't nothing like black pussy on my dick. Word to the motherfucking DJ Quick. I play hoes like dominoes,
going quiet.
slapping bones.
Mhm.
AMG's on the motherfucking microphone.
Oh.
I slang dick. Bitch.
Oh,
Nothing more
we've
and
got
nothing
a-
less. You got a C note. Ho. You can
We've got a
You
we've
gotta-
got a thing jigger.
We've
A
got
thing.
a what?
We gotta I gotta read something.
Yeah, that last one was long.
Yeah,
Uh
I bet it was big. I know it was Big Draw.
Oh, come on, you had to ruin that band for me, Big Dro. You nasty Dro, you.
So naughty. So naughty.
It ain't nothing like black pussy on my dick. Word to the motherfucking DJ Quick. I play hoes like dominoes, slapping bones. Is this a song? AMG's on the motherfucking microphone. I slang dick.
Jesus
Nothing
Christ.
more and nothing less. You got a C note, ho. You can take the test.
Right, I missed a couple of lines.
I'm not sure what's worse, the fact that Big Dro knows this song,
Or having
or
her
how
read it
bad
out.
you just.
Line girl.
Oh
I missed
my
a couple of lines
God.
back there. Can you go back and read it again?
Right? I feel like you didn't give him his $5 worth. So when you read it back, do it really slow and really sultry and I'm kidding. Do what you want.
That's
It's all good.
Oh my God, that hurt my ears.
Does anybody else think Big Draw has multiple personality disorder?
Hey, wait, you saying I was doing some kind of rapper motherfucking hoe song and I didn't do the fucking rapper motherfucking hoe song voice?
So I got a feeling that that message from Box may have actually been from Big Dro, because the song Dro just put on was called "Bitch Better Have My Money."
Bitch better have my money.
You never know. Well,
There
maybe
ain't nothing
Spock's
like
fault.
black pussy on my dick. Word to the motherfucking
Maybe
DJ Quick. It's like,
Spock's
How
fault,
come
Draw has.
everyone can hear the donations except for Blind Girl? 'Cause I'm stupid. Okay? Cause I'm fucking stupid. I don't fucking
Actually,
know.
nobody in the dais can actually read it or hear it.
I'm actually the only one who does most of the time, and I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with being on the stream key end.
That's it exactly, I believe.
I mean, if I had some way of knowing how to feed it back in, which I'm sure Blue can help me with that, we might
Yeah,
have to spend a day together at some point where you explain to dummy me.
Blue's claiming he just got back and he's been with for like 15 minutes. So
You're
obviously
fine,
he blacked out. He made that donation and now he's just recovered.
Is that what happened? No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
nothing bad, Blue. It's just that I think no one can hear the donations other than me, so I don't know if there's something maybe we could do to feed that back in, or just.
I have an idea of maybe how I can. Oh, Jesus Christ! Hear the donation. Okay. I've opened up.
She's opened up the gates of hell.
Yeah.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Nobody watched.
Not anymore, anyway. Not since they got rid of Vic. I'm sorry.
I never liked Dragon Ball Z. The storylines were terrible. The artwork was worse.
I liked it. I just, like many animes, I feel like they could have gotten to the point a lot quicker, and they didn't. And I know that half of that has to do with hype and selling toys and stuff.
Jesus!
Donation!
Deep Sixer has just donated 16 Canadian dollars and 17 cents. All I have to say is, the British are coming.
The British are coming. Not those freaking limeys. Kidding.
Yes.
Sassy, you got a date tonight?
So
what?
He wears a black suit.
So I'm going to say this to Alex the next time I talk to him, because I know that he's the one black guy that I know in England who has a sense of humor. Not to say that other black people don't have that. I just don't know those people. But the next time I see him and I remind him that he's a Brit and he's black, and therefore when he turns lime, what color is that? Because like brownish tan plus green.
Hold on a minute. Credible threat? No. Drunkle is the pineapple.
Yeah, he is a pineapple. Under the tree. Under the sea. Under the sea. I'm also older than him. That blew my mind for a bit, actually. I was like, I don't think I can call him uncle anymore. More like drunk British guy from England. Which is accurate. Sometimes. Yep. I don't think he's drunk all the time either. Most of the time he's sober.
He has to sleep. No, he has to sleep sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, that's loud. Oh God.
Lucky Charms donation. Choose the position pronto. You're on the clock, you can suck the diggity dick. But I'ma charge you and not bend your ass on over and touch your toes. Hold your breath cause I'ma hold my nose.
Oh crap, I think I gotta read that out, don't I?
Choose the position pronto. You're on the clock. You can suck the diggity dick, but I'ma charge you a knot. Bend your ass on over. And I can't see the rest of it because it went past screen.
And touch your toes. Hold your breath cause I'ma hold my nose.
Jen, there's something inherently wrong with you reading out rap lines. It just sounds so wrong.
Well, if you want to
it's like turning on the TV at Christmas and hearing the Queen read out porn.
I would do it on purpose just for that laugh.
Just wrong.
I never said my humor was normal. I do have that sense of humor where if you put like a cute little doll and then have it turn into a monster, I do find that alarmingly funny. I mean, I'd still gonna kick the doll and then burn it in a fireplace, but it's funny.
Oh wow, Big Draw, you are generous.
Big Draw is white, 19 for Jen.
Yeah, he's like, Jen is probably 27. I wish I was 27. I'm not though.
Generous?
Yeah. Well, Trucker's 27. Stone.
Ow. Please hit my forehead on my microphone.
Oh, do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's really loud.
Green _thunder _demighty donated $6 Canadian and 43 cents. Just because I can.
Well, there you go, Green.
Green Thunder.
That's awesome, Green. That's so nice of you. I'm so glad he got that job, you know? I'm talking about you as though you're not in the chat. But no, I'm happy you got that job. I hope you have fun when you go too, you know? I kind of thought you would.
Green.
What did he got?
The one with his mom. The one with his mom. And Big Drew.
Oh.
Lucky Charms donation. This stick of mine ain't friendly, baby. Will it hurt you? Yeah, maybe, probably, because I'm 19 years old. I fuck hot pussy until it's cold. I ain't a prostitute, but I'll knock the boots. Women love me. They say I'm so cute.
It's like it's like that one time where I thought I might like Ariana Grande because I think her voice is nice, and I start singing along to her lyrics, and I'm like, no, I ain't singing that. I'm like, damn, she's brave. Damn. Saying that shit on a stage out loud? No. I mean, maybe.
Well, you know, at least Big Joe and Box are sticking with the same damn song.
What freaks me out about Ariana Grande is she's 28, 29, something like that.
And she looks like she's 14.
She looks like 14, 15.
Yeah.
If I was 29 and I saw her, I'd feel like a child molester for fancying her.
Yes and no. I mean, she might look older up close, like if you were in that kind of relationship. But yeah, it's still.
Apparently, Jen, she doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I reckon when she hits like 40, she's going to look 60 though. Yeah, women that tend to look young a lot for a long time. When they hit the wall, they hit it at like 70 miles an hour.
Oh, Jen. He's saying delicious things about you now.
Yeah. I don't think she is. No, Big Dro. I'm actually older than that. Yeah, I'm almost about to hit the. Yeah, I'm almost about to hit the 40s. I got 2 weeks to go.
Hey, blind girl.
Big Joe, look on a soda can or a soda pop bottle or something. Where you see stamped on it says California, Michigan, and Delaware, I think. There's deposits on the bottles and cans. Green takes care of the returns of those where he lives.
Blind girl.
Yeah.
Jen and Big Joe sitting in a tree. Kissing.
I agree.
I'm going to be sick.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried about it. Like, I figure I'm doing okay. It's more of just the fact that I lost a bunch of weight, so everyone's like thinking I'm a lot younger than I am. And I keep joking that, you know what, extreme fat acts like the best moisturizer. But it only works if you hold on to it for like a long period of time. If you don't hold it on to it for long enough and you lose the weight, you still kind of look like leather as shit. I don't know that this is a fact for every woman. I've just noticed that other women lose weight in different ways.
Jen, talking about Big Joe, I'd be careful around him, especially with those donations he gives.
Oh yeah, the naughty naughties.
Yeah, you best carry a gun.
I live in Canada. That's so mean.
Or a taser.
I can't do that either. At best, I can take some dog spray and just empty it out and put some Ghost Reaper peppers in it, so it's more effective.
No, I'd suggest a cattle prod.
Yeah, that too. I'd like to. Yeah, I don't think they allow us to do that up here, though. Just for the funniness of it.
Just like a taser, only more powerful.
Yeah, and it's on a stick too. I mean, if the zap doesn't work, just hitting them with the stick would be at least satisfying,
Or you could do both.
right? With the zap's flack.
God, can you imagine doing that when you didn't like? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was there in 2 lockboxes.
Rigging her vibrator up to so it acts like a taser.
Mm,
Yeah, I think that's basically the sound actually make it to start. Yeah.
you know what? That would be funny as hell. I mean, I wouldn't do this outside of a skit. Like, if I did this as something where someone was paying me money to film it, I could see a funny porn being some bitch being like, I got nunchucks, but she tied 2 dildos together with some rope or maybe a chain.
Only being done.
Oh, fuck. Why are all my ideas so
It's,
old?
it's porn. Everything you can think of has been done.
But the dildo chucks!
Whoa!
Lucky Charms donation. A cattle prod? Is that all you've got? Blind girl already uses a broken light bulb on my anus. A product whoop just tickle.
Big Dro.
Wow. That was. That,
If you want to up the ante, we'll get a large peeled chili pepper.
Well, I mean, to up the ante, I think you went down the wrong hole there, Big Dro. I mean, it's a cattle rod and you put it up your bum hole. Of course it's going to be underwhelmingly little. You're supposed to put it up your penis. I mean, that's what Monkey told me not to do. Don't stick shit up your penis. But I mean, if that's your grill, cattle prod, definitely the way to go.
depends on if you make money online stuffing stuff up your penis, then it might actually be worth it.
Yeah.
If you play it on a guy, is while they're not watching and they're watching porn, switch their tube of lubricant for a tube of Tabasco sauce. I just made myself cringe.
That or like a bottle of hot and cold, that like rub-on stuff that you use for aches.
Yeah.
That would do it too.
Tiger Balm.
No. Oh God, no. Fuck you with your Tiger Balm. Fuck you with your Tiger Balm.
The worst thing to do is what happened to Jim in American Pie 2. He reaches for the lubricant and he grabs a hold of the super glue.
Batsy.
Yes.
My wife one time had me put Tiger Balm all over her back. Okay, not a problem.
Hi, Mr. Scott. I know you coming out the weirdest.
I had taken a shower just before we were getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed and she decided to spoon and be the little spoon before I'd gotten dressed with Tiger Balm all over her back.
You were screaming out, weren't you?
All fucking night.
I've told you a friend of mine and his wife, I mean, they're married now, practical jokers, the pair of them. And they used to play really bad practical jokes on each other. There's one night, I've told you in Blind Girl this one, Jen hasn't heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he came in and he was walking funny, right? At the pub. What's wrong with you? Goes, well, lass, what about her? Right, she insisted on, we were doing the other last night, and she insisted on putting the condom on, right? So, well, I didn't know, but she put Tiger Balm inside it.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, he says, the week later, he's pleased as punch himself. So what are you so happy about? He goes, you know what I tell you what lass did to me last week? Aye. Why I insist on put it on myself this time, yeah. And I went in the bathroom to do it. And she thought Tiger Balm was bad. Yeah. Red hot chili juice. And I didn't let her get up.
I'm gonna win this one only because I work in a store that has a hardware section, but just so you know, Gorilla Glue has a can of spray-on waterproofing.
Oh God.
I have no idea what that would do, but I imagine it wouldn't be a good thing. Don't put that shit on your penis.
You did see the video about the girl her friend's pouring milk over her unmentionables because she tried to give herself a Brazilian with Gorilla Glue tape.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
I mean, don't
So
get
how
me-
is your boyfriend, blind girl?
Yes. How is
Oh.
things?
Oh, hi, honey. I didn't see you there because I was listening to something going, what the fuck? And then waiting for the appropriate time to ask the other two, what the fuck?
Is
Okay.
Skittles here?
No, he's not.
Then why would you tell me to say hi to him?
I didn't
He's
say
not-
say hi to him. I said, speaking of your boyfriend,
Oh, okay. Well,
Just-
anyways.
because because somebody was talking about giving themselves a Brazilian with Gorilla Tape. I seem to remember a certain boyfriend of yours
That was just duct
putting
tape.
Gorilla Tape. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which
anyways.
is bad enough.
The other thing, okay, this has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about, but it still brings me to legitimate what the fuck. Discovery Plus to premiere show featuring teenage drag queens.
Yeah, that's been something that people have been rather mad about. Cause it makes what okay. So usually when you complain about the drag teens or the drag kids, the response is, well, you guys are okay with the pageants where they do that with the straight kids. And I'm like, what you're doing with these apparently queer kids, I've never seen them really do with a pageant where they weren't going in there with cops. So I don't know. This conflation that they're doing. I'm not okay
I-
with either, by the way.
No, because they're both a form of child abuse.
Yes, they're both
Exactly.
exploitation of
The
children.
frightening one is there's quite a few mothers have actually turned around because they put the sons through it. And if it wasn't for their husband, they'd take their children off to have them put on hormone replacement therapy so they can turn them into their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Just so they can get more money on the child pageants.
Oh, wow.
Andrea has just donated 26 Canadian dollars. You pay me too much, woman.
That's very
What-
nice of you, Blue.
Generous.
Wow. Wait, what?
Andrea, that's Blue's real name.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said Blue.
Yeah. You caught me for a second there.
He said, "You pay me too much, woman."
I
And before anybody makes fun of Blue, it's an Italian boy's name. It just happens to sound like an English girl's name.
Mateo. I've heard
No,
that. I've heard.
I'm.
Andrea.
I hope that's the benefit of the chat because Andrea Bocelli is actually one of my favorite singers.
Yeah, that was for the benefit of the chat. If Blue
He actually, I'm surprised he pulled off a very good Ave Maria.
plus, if Blue ever decided he wanted to transition, we wouldn't have to dead name him because he wouldn't have to change his name.
I'm sure that.
Yeah, I'm used to interesting names from my family. That's where I kind of wonder where. Well,
Jen?
I know.
When I was a kid, for years, I thought my dad had given me a Chinese name.
Really?
Something
Yeah.
wrong.
No, it's because of what you used to call me.
Suddenly.
No, how you?
No, for me, it was always my dad's side of the family, like unique names and stuff. Like my brother didn't get that, I didn't get that, but my dad's side of the family, his one of his middle names was Cortland, and then for my aunt it was Corliss, and I was like, yeah, I've never heard those kind of names before. I was like, okay, of
Blind girl's already got a boyfriend.
course she does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but Big Drew's trying to hit on all the women in the chat in the stream.
Well, I think that's a man thing. I think all men tend to try to be nice to all the ladies. I've seen you do that too, Batman, where you're nice to
Yeah,
all the ladies. You know.
but not like that.
No.
I joke hit upon all the ladies.
Another donation. Mr. Scott.
Not Mr. Scott donated $3 Canadian. You were never a kid, Batsy.
You were never a kid, Batsy.
No, no, I wasn't never a kid, Batsy. I was just a kid.
Yeah, I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm going to turn 40 in a couple weeks. To be honest, I've been calling out more women for not getting to that point. Like, it's not to pat myself on the back. It's more of just it is just another year. Kind of like when I turned 15 or like when I turned 20 or when I turned 25, it's just another year. And I think if you're bitter about it, that's the stuff that people are going to laugh at you for. Like, if anything's going to be laughable, it's the fact that you're so upset about it.
Not dyeing your hair blonde, we're going to laugh at you.
But my hair's already blonde.
Yeah, but you know, you get women
Oh,
as
yeah.
they get older, start dyeing their hair a lighter and a lighter shade of blonde.
I mean, at best, I might trim my hair, but that's just because I desperately need to. Like, I just need to clean up my hair because it's just 2 years of not having a haircut is a bad thing for both men and women. So, you know, I can do my own bangs, but, you know, there's to a certain point where I don't have to take it that far. It's just I was like, you know what? Saving money here is kind of nice. So, you know, it's 16 to 20 bucks just to get a basic hairdo.
I said I wouldn't do this, but TC's been nasty to me, so I'm going to dox him. TC's real name is Tarquin Cuttlebund.
Tarquin Cuttlebun.
Yep.
Math.
Meow.
Math, not meow. Math. Cause
Hello.
Jack _ Napier donated $3 Canadian. Hey, Batsy, how are the folks? Oops, sorry.
Jesus, that was actually kind of funny. Yeah,
Oh,
Fox, I sent you 40 Canadian, and then you're like, Pen, your money is 16 Canadian, so you've paid me more back in Canadian than I paid you. Your math is not correct.
That's just cold, Betsy.
Yeah, he's dead to me, like my parents.
What's up?
Apparently, Joe thinks TC's name is
I
safe.
thought it was a taco cat. What is a taco cat, and does one exist like a cabot?
What?
Well, cabots. You know, when a cat and a rabbit do the horizontal polka, they get a cabot.
No, they get nothing because cats and rabbits cannot interbreed.
They are cabots, and a taco cat must be one of those.
Cats and rabbits cannot interbreed.
I'm sorry, Batman. This is based off of an anime, so you're right. They don't exist, but you know.
I don't care.
I know.
Oh, anime taco cat. Okay, now that makes sense.
You're just never gonna learn. You're never gonna win logic with anime nerds, and you and I both know that's true.
Yes.
Especially when I'm zooming.
And
Even if you're right. Even if you're right.
Jen, you are correct, and this is why we have desert eagles.
Yeah, it's not that I just like the anime kids for that. It's just that there was this point when I was growing up where even my parents were like, just so you know, the things that you like on the TV don't really exist. Not all the time.
Yes,
That
he
is
used to
sad.
tell a friend of my friend's parents used to tell him that, and he didn't learn until he tried to jump off the outhouse roof to.
See if he could fly.
He broke his left arm, broke his right leg, and dislocated his left ankle.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue is wishing that Mateo would do the same thing.
And he's lucky we live in a society where we still take care of our stupid people.
Yes.
Because we used to just leave you out to die. Like, oh, you're kind of not worth keeping, man, because you're going to produce more of you.
Actually, we didn't.
I know. I think that's where we went wrong, Batman. I know that this is mean of me to say.
Even,
I know it is, but
I mean, there's strong evidence that even the likes of Homo erectus would take care of
Mhm.
their obvious idiots.
yeah, they did. Yeah. Actually, the gorillas do it too. So it's not like it's a.
Yeah, chimpanzees
Good.
they wait till
Good
an
God.
oxygen and kill them, and we've got another one.
Big_Dro donated 3 Canadian dollars. Bait
God.
me, hook me, and mount me like a fish. Scale me, gut me, clean me as you wish. Roll
Ew.
me in flour and make for the wet spot.
Ew.
Uh-huh.
Now, was that aimed at Jen or Blind Girl or Trucker?
Big Dro.
No,
Ew.
so was that aimed at?
Oh.
Well, I know what they were trying to make me think of. White stuff and water mixed together equals something yucky. But that's
So-
not what would happen. It would just turn into
wanted to-
chunks of
In a
nothing.
case like that, it sounded to me like he just wanted it to be fried.
Yeah.
Fried
that.
fish.
I just had this image of Big Dro covered in batter for a few minutes and coming out with, covered in this crispy gold stuff.
It was trying to make me think of the gross stuff, though.
Well, the stuff that I think it starts with Manamana.
Fuck off, Batman! No!
Harder
No, 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 no! Oh my god, my obsessive compulsive cannot stand that song anymore.
Okay, I'll stop.
But now
'Cause-
it's in my head. That's so mean.
It's exactly.
I mean, it could be another song too, but yeah, then I have to think of another song to get it out, and then I get that song in my head. You know what works though? The coconut song. As far as an earworm, it gets most songs out and then leaves.
Bad touch works, you know, you and me, baby, we're just nothing but mammals. Let's do it like they do it on Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
It's a dwarf in that video that gets me.
Midgets are the best.
No, not a midget, a dwarf. Midgets are are correctly proportioned but really small. Dwarves have a stocky body and really short arms and legs.
TC says they're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8.
Ah, god damn it. No,
Sorry.
no. This is supposed to be a
That's snails and
good
ass.
show.
That's snails and ass. That's snails and ass.
Fuck. I mean, you're not wrong. Fuck.
Yes, this is the time when we should stop triggering Blind Girl.
Hashtag freaking triggered, man. Like, seriously. No, Jesus!
Big_Dro donated 3 Canadian dollars. Another song. Do 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 do. Another song. Do 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 do. Another song. Do do da do do. Da do do. Da do 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 do.
It didn't work, Drew.
I'm going to see if I can share this.
That's a lot of doo-doo.
Oh, that must be the Albert Heard song.
As much as you'd like to, I don't think the computer can sing.
But got you with that one, didn't I, Trucker?
Huh?
Yeah, that's the Albert Heard song.
Batman donated 3 Canadian dollars. I did it like the animals on the Discovery Channel, and they banished me from the zoo.
Ew.
Yeah, you see on like Big Drew, down the screen, that's not me. I don't care.
Is it showing it?
We can see your Discord.
Okay.
behind the.
Is it
So
showing
your
AOC?
age 25 and your hometown is Calgary.
Nah, that's not what I'm trying. That's Big
Good night,
Joe.
box.
And
I'm trying to
uh,
show. Give me a second. I'm trying to show this one.
why is Big Joe right? Big Joe's handwriting like a 5-year-old's.
I don't know why it's still showing Big Joe.
It's not now.
Okay, good. Yeah. Is it showing AOC?
Your stream is still running.
Is it showing AOC?
Well, there's a picture of AOC there.
Okay. I'm trying to show you what it is that she has written here. I don't know if you can read that.
Yeah, might
kind
want
of-
to enlarge. Yeah, you might want to try and full screen that.
Okay, let's see if I can change the screen. I don't know if I can just change windows.
Bottom right, bottom right, bottom right.
Alright. Is it showing this or is it showing something else?
I'll tell you now. Right, your stream is still running. Right,
Yeah, it's still not showing what I'm wanting to show. Okay.
hold on a minute, because the
Yeah, it's
the
not
stream is delayed. Right, so I'm seeing what you've
There
done.
we go. There we go. I got it. Okay. All right. Sure. Just because this is funny.
There we go.
This is elements of funny that everyone should have. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is very angry at our Elon Musk. So she is like tired of having to collectively stress about what explosion of hate crimes is happening because some billionaire with an ego problem unilaterally controls a massive communication platform and skews it because Tucker Carlson or Peter Thiel took him to dinner and made him feel special. And he's like, stop hitting on me. I'm really shy. He's so funny. And then Lauren Southern, because she's a little bit of a boss. Like, she's so tsundere. She's gone all tsundere, guys. Oh, look, she's so shy. She's hitting on our Musk. I think we better protect Musk because she's definitely a harpy. This is what is called a succubus.
Really not
Gentlemen,
pretty.
this is called a succubus. All right.
She's not getting anywhere near my bus.
All right. We can stop sharing that now. That was just fun. All right.
Oh, wow. That scares me every time.
Good.
Big underscore Dro donated $3 Canadian. Do 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 do.
The fuck? That's the
A lot of
fuck?
that. That's a lot of doo doo.
Yeah, that'll be making. Hey, good job Johnny Depp isn't on this stream. He'd be triggered.
Yeah, I
The
know.
fuck?
I would be too if somebody took a turn on my bed. I mean,
Hey, it's a good job Amber Heard wasn't married to me, because if she took a dump on my bed, I would rub her nose in it.
right? You're like, no.
You know, I'm
we
still,
don't
Lucky
do
Charms
still loving-
donation. The lot of
I'm
you
still
are
loving one comment.
Hold on.
BOOMERS.
Boomers? Why you? That is not very nice.
Who said that?
Not a fucking boomer.
Green.
It was
I'm
Green
just
Thunder.
really fucking high right now.
Technically, aren't you around our age anyway? So doesn't that make you a boomer too? At this point, you are a
Technically-
boomer.
Technically, I was born in 1964, so technically I'm a boomer, but I was raised as Generation X.
Yeah, I kind of feel you there. I should have been Generation X, but I might as well be a millennial.
Yeah, you're more like Generation Xbox.
hmm I get shafted with a bunch of shit that I'm like, I'm sorry, I wasn't really in that age group. Like, I technically
Well, the
was, but
thing
not
is-
really.
Funny thing is, most of the millennials I know, I mean, because I come from a working class environment,
Mhm.
probably in an English environment, most of the millennials I know are all right.
Yeah,
Most, not all.
U.S. Marine veteran dies fighting in Ukraine.
Aw.
What?
Aw. A U.S. Marine veteran dies fighting in Ukraine.
Well, that's too bad. Sorry for his
What is it?
family.
Yeah.
F. Sorry, that just came across that.
That's a
Well, we'll blame Big Drew for that one.
Kind of sucks, but that's you did kind of volunteer to go over and do that.
Yeah. Either that or he got lost.
very. It's when they told him free pierogies and borscht, and he was like, "No thanks to the borscht." But then, you know,
What they did is they left a trail of crayons.
yeah, they were made with potatoes. Don't trust potato crayons. I don't know where I'm coming up with this stuff.
Don't do the brown acid, guys.
I just remember when people told me that they used to use mummies to make paint, and I still stand by my theory that the crying boy painting in England that burns everybody's shit down, that had a lot of mummy brown. Just saying.
The crying boy painted in England.
There's this crying boy painting in England that they were accusing of being possessed or something, because like every house that it went to ended up burning down, but the painting would still be like, "Oh hey, I'm right here. Hi, I'm still here." And I know that's just coinky dink, you know, that just kind of happens with some items, but there's an awful lot of mummy brown on that painting.
That was somebody who was trying to get the painting and kept accidentally burning the houses down.
Right? But you know what I mean. Sometimes there's just items in this life that it's just happen to be around.
Whoa! Yay!
Donation. My goodness. Great Thunder.
Green_Thunder donated 3 Canadian dollars. Boomer 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 boomer
At this
boomer
point, I
boomer
also
boomer
am a
boomer
boomer, but
boomer
that's
boomer.
okay. Boomer, boomer,
No.
boomer, boomer, boomer,
If
boomer.
you want, if you want,
No,
Green,
no.
hold on, Green. If you wanted to be really insulting, you could have put boomer, 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 Batman, but you didn't. So do you?
Hey, listen, I'm old enough to remember when Simba used to be Kimba. Just saying.
I can't, and I'm older than you.
Yeah, well, you should look into that one. It's funny. Cause yeah.
I'm old enough to remember a time when there was no internet.
Yeah, I remember that too. That wasn't as long ago as they like to make it out to be.
Yeah, I can also remember a time when you got your when if you didn't want to watch TV,
Yeah.
well, you would go outside and you didn't. Yeah,
You could do
you
other.
got your entertainment from this archaic data retrieval system called a book.
Yeah, I remember when people used to actually experiment with stuff too. Like, you know, it was sometimes it was chaotic. You know, there was times where people would experiment with stuff and it would go wrong. But you know, sometimes those experiments were fun. You know, and you got
Yes,
that from reading books.
Jen, I remember those times. I remember standing outside my friend's house watching the fireman try and put out the green flamed fire that he somehow started chemistry set.
Or the odd person who realized that weed killer could be used to put messages on people's lawns because they were assholes.
Oh, one of the best ones. We did. We were about 8. I mean, one of my cousins and her older sister, who was like 10 years older than us. It was summer on the beach, and she'd fallen asleep. Lying on her stomach. So we made a stencil, right? A piece of paper with the word idiot on it. Put it on her back. So it was a square patch of clay, of pale skin on her back with the suntanned word idiot on it. Oh, God, she kicked our asses for that.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I get that makes me a nerd, but learning was fun. And it was also good for learning how to troll people, like in real life. Like everyone makes this joke about trolls online, and I'm like, where do you think we got that from in the first place? Like, as if people weren't entertaining each other in history.
Do you ever do that trick? We did it to this kid at school who was a bully. Where you get a bucket full of water, right?
Mhm.
And you keep it pressed up against the ceiling with a broom handle, right?
Mhm.
Then your victim comes along. What you doing? You know, I hold this bucket of water up against there. You know, you make us wait. You've done like half an hour so far. You've beaten the record. This entices the bully because the guy we were after was thick as well as arrogant. I want to go. Here you go then. Give him the bucket and all that. And then he just walked away again. So, where you going? You're not going to tell us? Nah, we'll come back and get you later. And so, what am I going to do in the meantime? Well, you're going to stand there and hold that bucket up there unless you want to be drenched in ice cold water. And then they realise what you've done to them.
Aw, that's funny.
Yep.
Sometimes there's something to the brains over the bronze. Like it's even better when you have both. Like just enough of
Yes.
both. But yeah. And never
See-
let on how clever you are, actually.
This is the same guy. I just was determined to get him back because he used to beat us up. And one day I forged a note for my mother saying that I couldn't do PE because I had a verruca. So I got excused PE when everybody's got out doing cross country. I sat in the changing room. When this guy, he came back last like he usually did. He goes in the shower. I pick up this rounders bat and follow him in there. And there's not a piece of his body that would be hidden by his school uniform that was not badly bruised when I was finished.
Yeah.
He never bullied me again after that. Well, he's
Yeah,
twice
you'll
my
find it
size, twice
interesting.
as strong, and like a third as intelligent.
I'm
So
not judging you. I just like shared a post where this kid had a bully like throw lighter fluid at him. So like to be honest, I don't blame you for doing what you did. I think that's part of the problem. Like I don't agree with kids like necessarily just fighting all the time. Like obviously that's been a thing that was addressed,
to.
but when you realize that back in the day, you know, stopping a bully was something as much
it's
as
part
just,
of growing up.
you know, sometimes it means that your kid has to punch another kid in the face.
Yeah,
You know,
it's part of growing up. It is part of character building, and no big draw I didn't because he's not going to tell anybody because he'd have to explain the reasons why I did it.
Now the on the other hand, this case is a little bit different. Like, you know, people are like, yeah, this guy's a bully. I'm like, no, actually, he's a little bit of a felon. If he tried to burn some other kid's face off, that was premeditated.
Yeah,
I just sent you something, Jen, that you'll find amusing.
Funny? Oh, she posted it. I was like, what? Wait,
Ooh, why?
where? Who?
When?
Oh, it's an Elon Musk. Oh, good. I
It's a
like it
what?
now. She sent me a story for the Post Millennial Texas, something to do with Texas. Let me open this link. I can't donate to you, sorry. I would, but I can't. Okay, so this is a American News article. Texas man offers 100 acres of his own land for Elon Musk to build new Twitter headquarters. Jim Swertner, CEO of Swertner Farms, just north of Austin, has offered up to 100 acres of land to donate to magnate Elon Musk in order to move the Twitter company headquarters to Texas. This is amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, Jim Swertner, CEO of Swertner Farms, just north of Austin, has offered up to 100 acres of land to donate to magnate Elon Musk in order to move the Twitter company headquarters to Texas. Hell yeah! The land is precisely located off of Interstate 35, some 35 or so north of the city of Austin, in an area where many other tech companies have been moving in past years, including Musk's own Tesla company, as well as his other enterprises, SpaceX and The Boring Company. Does he actually have a company called The Boring Company? Okay.
Oh, there's some drippy bit on Twitter. I'm not going to read out her name, but she says, I just blocked Elon Musk, so my reply was in brackets sarcasm mode activated. Oh my, that's so stunning and brave of you. In brackets sarcasm mode deactivated.
All right.
I'm sorry, but people like that.
You are fine.
That much sense.
Actually.
People like that are idiots.
Yeah.
Okay, on Tuesday, Schwerner tweeted, I hope I'm saying his name right. Elon Musk moved Twitter to Schwerner TX 38 miles north of Austin in Williamson County, and we will give you 100 acres for free. According to the Daily Wire, Schwerner, you either put a T in or you don't put a T in. Okay. Further iterated, in an interview with local news, we think it's a good idea, especially when you've got Samsung coming to Taylor. He continued, I mean, this area is exploding, and we want to be part of this explosive growth, mentioning that he thought the presence of Musk on Twitter would be a win-win for everybody. I just think with all the stuff he's done, he evidently likes Texas, right? Or he wouldn't have moved from California. And I want to be part of his plan if he'll come visit with us. In a sense, Twitter employees would hardly be affected by the move. This is because they are currently allowed to work from home as much as they want, wherever they want. We've always been interpreters in I can't keep doing this. Interpreters in our family, and we've always
What the hell are you trying for?
because it was fun. We've always tried to help the communities. Schwertner continued, and I think my offer is a serious gesture to help the citizens around Williamson County. There we go. And I'm good.
What accent were you trying for?
I don't
Texas?
know. I have
It was
no
Welsh, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was
Sounded kind of sounded Georgian.
Is that what you think they sound like in Texas?
No, I don't know what they sound like in Texas. It was fun though. Oh, don't let Bloodwing hear that. Or actually, you know, you should. You should totally send that to Bloodwing. He's not from Texas, by the way. I just think he'd get a kick out of it. Okay.
They sounded like cowboys in the Texas.
It's a kind of I want to say soft, but it isn't a soft accent. It's a light, pleasant sounding accent. Don't do John Wayne if you try to be Texan.
No, definitely not. I don't even know where I was with that. Because the thing is like for a second there, I thought I was being Texas, and then I was like, am I a little bit more Tennessee than Texas?
I think you started in Florida.
Tennessee.
I think you started in Florida and moved all the way over to Tennessee.
Wow, that's loud.
Lucky Charms donation. Fuck off, TC.
That's a horrible thing to say.
Green, spend your money on better things. I know you. I know I'm not your advisor for your funding, but just think of all of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards you just wasted on telling TC to fuck off. But at least BG gets to feed Jack some more pizza this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It'll be fuck you pizza from Green. Just don't tell Jack that part. Okay.
He'd probably think "fuck you" pizza's funny, to be honest.
No, right? Oh god, I'm just as bad as cryptic.
If you tell him it's "fuck you, pizza," please don't tell him it's a Chinese word.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh jeez. Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know where I went with that one. I was in giggly mode.
You were in giggling mode, were you?
Oh, I was giggly. Yeah, that was an exciting little tidbit of information. just because I know it's triggering some people. But
Like,
you know,
that's...
Hmm?
Go ahead. Sorry.
well, I keep going back to my initial thought, and yeah, I'm hoping that other people will spam out my idea with me. But Elon, and I know I'm being horrible by advising you on what to do with your money, and honestly, you should do whatever the fuck you want with your money. But if you got Twitter, YouTube should be the next one on your plan.
Yeah.
You could be the new Hollywood.
You know what's making me laugh? There's people going, oh, that 40 billion he spent on Twitter. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a cute...
Okay.
Lucky Charms
Yeah,
donation.
that
Yay, fuck you, pizza.
Yay, fuck you, pizza!
People
Yeah,
saying he should have spent that 40 billion there to feed the homeless and stop. No, all the money in the world won't stop those two problems. Those problems run a lot deeper than just money.
Mm-hmm. It would be a
So I
temporary
think-
thing. It would be feeding them for a day and not even.
And Chucker's going to yell if we don't let him speak.
Yes.
No, what I was going to say is Elon Musk at one point, somebody asked him about doing world hunger. He said if I could write a check for all the money I had and cure world hunger, I would do it, but it won't do anything. Now, that being said, after Twitter released their numbers yesterday, their abysmal-ass numbers,
Mhm.
I think Elon Musk should have said, you know what? It's not worth that 54.20 anymore. Goodbye. Wait for all the stocks to tank and then come back in and pay $20 for them all.
Yeah.
I really do think
That would've-
he wants the platform for other things, though. Like, I mean, the
Not
freedom
wrong.
like the freedom of speech thing, yeah, I do think he wants that too. But I think he does want it for the entertainment part of it too. Like, there's money in that.
Yeah, he wants it for the entertainment, the freedom of speech, but they're byproducts. What he wants it for is to further his own brand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, I mean, when it comes to entertainment, I mean, whose entertainment as a whole or his personal entertainment?
Both.
It's like what I tweeted out the other day. You know, people go, "Do you trust Elon Musk?" This guy asked this question on Twitter. Do you trust Elon Musk? I said, yeah, I trust Elon Musk to do what's good for Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
If along the way that's good for me as well, all the merrier.
Mm-hmm.
If at best,
Oh my god, have you guys heard of the transphobe finder?
Not surprised it exists, but no.
Apparently, there's a transphobe finder, and it targets women to be reported removed from Twitter. Apparently, that exists.
Not for long.
Okay.
That's just cold.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Sorry.
hopefully that ends up being something that goes in the future.
Yep.
Because it's
Oh,
unnecessary.
hold on. Does that mean Green Thunder's going to get removed from Twitter?
I bet you anything that's geared towards the turfs, though, more than anybody else. That was probably built up for turfs.
Oh, so Anna Kasparian's going to go. Well, this is one thing. No, even Anna Kasparian should be allowed her freedom of speech.
She should be, but she has the freedom to leave, too. Here's the
Yeah.
thing, though. She'll leave and then come back because what she likes more than anything else, more than her own principles, she really likes money.
Yeah. Just
Why
like
she's a businessman woman instead of a stay-at-home wife.
And maybe the attention of people saying, don't go, don't go. Oh, wait, that's Sean King.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You mean Snow J. Simpson?
Mm-hmm. Cargo Max.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Pale Revere.
Little Doobie.
Oh, the
Yep.
amount of nicknames that came out for him, and they're all from the Black community, or at least most of them. You know, most.
Oh,
of them
yes.
Martin Luther Cream.
Yeah.
Jen, I sent you something about Polivier. Or Poliv... Well, whatever the fuck his name is.
Olivier. Very. I don't speak.
That's it.
French.
You know, since we're kind of talking Twitter drama, I learned something the other day that I didn't even realize. You know, the whole Taylor Lorenz and Libs of TikTok thing?
Mm-hmm.
That Taylor Lorenz chick? the one who's doxed libs of TikTok and all that mess. Apparently, she was that one who started everybody fucking around with millennials for avocado toast. She's the one who put out the tweet that started screwing with everybody like that, paying $17 for avocado toast. I never knew that. I still don't know what the hell that shit is.
All right. So I will read this article. Okay. So Polivier says he will stop proposed central bank digital currency due to the risk of politicized banking. Polivier wrote that as Prime Minister, his government will keep the Bank of Canada out of retail banking by banning its proposed central bank digital currency. Okay. Conservative leadership frontrunner Pierre Poilievre announced on Thursday that as Prime Minister of Canada, he would restore the Bank of Canada's independence by adopting former leader Andrew Scheer's bill that empowers the Auditor General to audit the Bank of Canada, and by asking the Auditor General to audit the bank's $400 billion quantitative easing program to determine why the bank missed its inflation target so badly. Poilievre said in a statement that he will also stop the proposed central bank digital currency out of fears that it would lead to politicized banking. Justin Trudeau has threatened the Bank of Canada's independence with $500 billion of deficit that required the central bank to print money and cause inflation, said Poilievre in a statement. Money printing deficits have sent more dollars, biting up the price of goods. Inflationary taxes have made it more expensive for businesses to produce those goods. The more liberals spend, the more things cost. That is just inflation. I will end it by restoring central bank independence, mandating an independent audit of all the money printing, and stopping the risky central bank digital currency. And here's our peer. Breaking: Poilievre government will stop proposed central bank digital currency and allow Auditor General to audit Bank of Canada. Take control of money away from bankers and politicians. Give it back to the people. Join if you agree. Yeah, you should. Pierre wrote that his government will keep the Bank of Canada out of retail banking by banning its proposed central bank digital currency. Alrighty. The Bank of Canada indicates it is in the development phase of its own digital currency and that the final decision will rest with the Minister of Finance. He wrote, the Auditor General must investigate whether the Trudeau government interfered with the Bank of Canada's independence by using $400 billion of newly printed money to fund its deficit. We need answers on why inflation has now tripled the bank's 2% target. I am running for Prime Minister to put people back in control of their lives by making Canada the world's freest nation, said Poilievre. That includes taking control of money away from the politicians and bankers and giving it back to the people. Poilievre wrote that all unnecessary government action should be avoided, writing that the central bank currency that people already store in digital bank accounts used for digital transactions. So what is new? Based on its discussion paper on the idea and on other models around the world, the only thing new is that the central bank would get into retail banking by offering retail deposits and banking services to everyday people. Sorry, let me breathe a little bit. Man, if I had to talk like you all the time, Pierre, I would want to get drunk more often and high. All right. The Bank of Canada's current liabilities include deposits from financial institutions, but not from retail customers. A CBDC would allow retail customers to do the same, indicates the discussion paper. A retail CBDC is defined as a liability of the Bank of Canada, denominated in Canadian dollars, that can be held and transferred in electronic form by the general public. Money in electronic format that retail customers hold in a bank is a complex way of describing a deposit, Poilievre argues. This change would first normalize bank deposits, then by consequence other banking activities that deposits enable. Banks lend out the deposits in mortgages and small business loans. If a central bank sponged up deposits from retail customers, where would the funding for normal banking lending originate? He asked. The bank contradicts itself on whether a central bank digital currency would pay interest on those deposits, the statement says. The cash-like CBDC envisioned would pay no interest. However, the payment of interest is technically feasible, especially for designs that connect to users over a network. If the CBDC did not pay interest, why would customers switch their bank deposits to CBDC to get what they are already getting from a charter bank? Moving deposits over would be a nuisance, because doing so would mean people would no longer have their checking accounts on the same banking app or web-based platforms as their saving accounts, investment accounts, and other financial products. The central bank would have to sweeten the pot to win customers. Here, the government-owned bank would have an incredible artificial advantage, the ability to create cash out of thin air to pay more attractive interest rates than private sector competitors could match. While giving this artificial cash to millions of customers would cause runaway inflation, it would also force customers to move from commercial banks to central banks to get in on all the free money. Furthermore, the central bank would not need to worry about running losses because, as a Governor Malcolm told the Finance Committee, taxpayers are always there to bail them out. Commercial banks could not do these things, so could not compete to maintain deposits they lend out. Poilievre's statement also details how his government would empower the Auditor General to scrutinize the Bank of Canada's balance sheet and transactions in order to ensure it is operating independently from the government and meeting the highest standards of financial accountability. Historically, the bank has been singularly focused on a stable rate of inflation. Since the pandemic, the government's deficit spending program has been underwritten almost exclusively through the use of quantitative easing, a fancy word for expanding the money supply, he wrote. There's precedent for allowing the Auditor General to have jurisdiction over arm's-length independent financial institutions, said Poilievre. The Public Sector Pension Investment Board operates free of political interference or direction, but is still subject to AG's oversight. And that is that.
Yeah, so essentially they want all your money where they can use it. And let's say you don't fit the social credit score. They suddenly take it? If that's what the government is planning on doing right now, every Canadian should be shaking in the fucking boots.
On a side note, that's totally unrelated. I'm getting a lot of pictures of Kate Middleton in my Twitter feed. I am not complaining about this at all.
Well, there you go. Twitter has
Yes.
its uses today.
Yeah, but she's exactly the opposite of She Who Must Never Leave America.
She already has. Isn't she in Europe already, technically?
I don't know, just as long as she doesn't come to the UK.
Yeah, my understanding is she was in the Netherlands, and I think the Netherlands were like, "Fuck you, bitch. We don't want you here either."
Nobody wants her.
Even the Dutch prince were like, "Yeah, we're not catering to you. You aren't real royalty."
Yeah,
You
you're probably
just-
going to call us racists.
That's okay. To be honest, she is. She is. She's exploiting her mom so that she could play Game of Thrones over what is probably a dying throne. And I'm not saying that to throw shade or to piss off my British friends, because I love you guys and I love what makes you British, but that
I
ain't
don't
gonna-
think it is a dying throne, actually. Yeah, there's been a few bumps. I think William and Catherine will... Yeah, the saving grace, one of the saving graces, well, so is the Queen herself, but yeah, that goes without being said.
It'll be
That's what-
something to see, like if it happens, it happens, but it's been so up and down with you guys.
But there's also the fact, even as a young man, Prince Charles has always said he doesn't want the throne.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be king. So if the Queen had abdicated when young enough to take the throne, and William was old enough, and William was also old enough to take the throne, he would have probably stepped aside to let William take it.
Well, I mean, with Charles being like, I mean, it's not like he's a young guy either. I mean, he's not. He's not
Yeah,
old, but go ahead.
actually, I think he is. I'm not sure how old.
Like, isn't he like almost? I'd say he's almost in his 70s, at least.
He's been in his 70s for 3 years. So,
Well,
yeah, he's
well,
old.
Well, there you go. I'm being nice to you, Charles. There you go. I was gonna say late 60s to early 70s, you know, so I don't even hate him. You know, the thing is like as much as the media really wanted me to hate him for being a fuck up with his wife, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not really a reason to hate a person. It's
I
a
think
it's
it was more he was a fuck up because of his wife, because she was, from day one, Diana was manipulating the media.
Mhm.
She was, just from all the stories that are coming out, came out even before she died, even before she got divorced. She was not a nice person, really. She played the part of being a nice person to get in with the press and with the public.
Yeah.
Bitch.
I never like to be perfectly honest.
Oh, well then, yeah, totally would a bitch.
But, yeah, our oldest son seems okay. Our youngest son seemed okay until he married the insane lunatic from America. And I do hold Trucker personally responsible for that as a representative of his nation.
Hmm.
He doesn't care.
Not particularly.
I didn't think you would. That's
Dog
why I'm
and
holding you
hammer.
responsible. If I thought you'd be upset about a trucker, I wouldn't hold you responsible. But there's another question I wanted to ask you, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
As a Canadian, do Canadian women wear high-heeled ice skates?
No.
No. I mean, you can get boots that look like they have heels, but it's really just the way the blade is designed. I wouldn't
think-
go that route.
Yeah, a lot of broken ankles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, I remember my first time ice skating when I actually learned how to do it properly. What an amazing feeling it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realise that you might have managed to learn how to stand on the skates and move forward on the skates, but with that blue wall rapidly approaching you, you've not learned how to turn or stop.
Mm-hmm. Or how to fall.
Oh, falling's easy.
Oh no, the falling's easy. It's how to fall and not hurt yourself completely that's a little bit harder to
Yeah.
pick up. That takes a few falls.
Yeah, and how to fly over the over that blue wall when you hit it at max speed also takes a bit of practice as well.
Yeah, I guess that would be a thing. You know, one of the first places that I learned how to skate though was at a rig that was man-made at a farm place. So if I had gone past the blue wall, I would have probably just fallen into a cow patty. So I think there was the fear of hidden cow poo. It was like, don't fall. Learn how to turn.
I'm in England, so all the ice rinks over here are man-made.
Okay. Not all of ours are. It's just a lot of them can be.
Yeah.
I was also drunk for it, so I was like, you know what? I was prepared. I was like, if you get just drunk enough to realize that, okay, I'm gonna be a little tipsy, falling down isn't gonna hurt quite as much. And then I didn't end up falling down at all. It was great.
Wait, you were brave enough to go skating tipsy?
Oh, I did. I knew that I was going to be a little bit chicken because it was my first time. I was expecting to fall, so I was like, you know, if I have just a, you know, if I have a fuzzy navel or two, I'll be okay. You know, because it's not the strongest thing.
She's telling us she was a little bit tipsy. The truth is probably that she was absolutely smashed.
No, I tried. I just couldn't. I didn't have the funding for it. You know, I was working on Tim Hortons dollars, so.
Yeah.
Got up to drink for it. I was like, no, I'm broke.
Once a week, our school, as part of PE, junior school, that is, we used to go to Durham Ice Rink. That was brilliant.
Everyone agrees with me. Bullcrap is the worst. That's why I didn't want to fall in it. So I was like, you know what? That's a deterrent. Don't fall in the poop.
Actually, no, pig shit's worse.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's kind of more liquidy and a lot more clingy.
Yeah.
But also the pigs.
Yeah.
Like, cows are nice, pigs are dicks.
Yes, they are.
I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with a pig.
There was a farm around our way. He was a cattle farmer, but he had a pig. Pig wasn't part of the farm livestock. The pig was like his pet, and it was also a guard pig. Actually, had a sign on his gate, beware of the guard pig.
Yeah, just, like, beware of the fucking pigs, dude.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, during the daytime, if the farmer was at the farmhouse and you need to see him, you could walk up that path, pig wouldn't bother you. In fact, the pig would follow you. It'd be nice as ninepence, you could scratch it behind the ears and everything. You try going there in the night and that pig would chase you down.
If the pig likes you, I guess.
Well, we used to carry, we were walking past this farm, we used to have a pack of polos. You know what polos are? They're a mint, but they've got a hole in the middle, right? We used to carry polos, and if the pig was there, we'd just toss him into the field for him because he loved polos, that pig.
Did you guys ever have, like, world religion is studying it? Have you ever, like, stopped to think that the one that says reincarnation is real is probably, like, the worst one out of all of them? Because, like, when you think about cows or pigs and how most of them are bred to be eaten, imagine if you were, like, reincarnated to come back as food.
If you're about Hindu, it doesn't work that way. You start off as like a germ, and then 1,000 germs die, and they'll become an ant. 1,000 ants die, and they'll become a spider. Maybe 1,000 spiders die, they become a mouse, and so on. And until they get higher and higher up the chain. 1,000 humans die, and they become a god. 1,000 gods die, and we don't know what they become, but we suspect it's not fun.
Probably the god king.
Or they start from scratch again.
Or that too. Yeah.
Hey, you're becoming part of reincarnated as a food animal or something like that. That's bad enough, but can you imagine being reincarnated as somebody like Justin Trudeau?
Or, well, okay, that's pretty bad. That, or, one of the bacteria that's on Justin Trudeau's butt.
Or Amber Heard's next husband.
Sorry. Keep talking. Sorry.
Did we get here?
I do.
When a
That's how
man
I
loves
got
a
here.
woman.
Well, I caught the bus. I don't know about you guys.
So I found out 2 updates to the funny little story, a love story that's going on Twitter. Because I shared that little posting from Elon Musk, and so the first thing I found out is Ted Cruz is now sharing that around everywhere because he thinks it's hilarious, which I find it hilarious. And then for 2, AOC tried to respond claiming that she was talking about Zuckerberg, and everyone's like, so since when is Zuckerberg a right-wing guy? She's flirting with him back. Apparently AOC would be happy for some Elon Musk dick. Tip.
You say that and, oh.
I know, right?
Batman donated $3 Canadian.
Uh-oh.
I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. Woo, that's my line. No, that's line. Woo, 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 do.
What?
I don't
Lost me at
care.
Batman.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, if it's getting you money, I'll take the rap. I don't care.
Oh.
It'll get Jack an extra pizza this month for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're gonna need the pizza.
you know what? It might also help you out with like one of his swimming days too. You know, I'm sure you could use it for that too.
Hold on.
This is my second last swim.
Hold on. Big Joe thinks that there's no bacteria on Trudeau's bum.
Oh no, there is. But it's coming from his own mouth.
But he says that Trudeau, I said everybody has because everybody does. He says that Trudeau is the one exception. Big Joe, is that because even bacteria don't want to be associated with Trudeau?
It's like when they created the human centipede, Trudeau took it seriously, but he made himself into the centipede. Like he became the one centipede role. He's a centipede role.
No, he really isn't. Big Joe. As a child, Justin Trudeau was so unloved. Even his imaginary friends used to stay away from him.
Yeah, that imagery was not really good, but I'm still laughing anyway. I don't care.
But what about he was so unloved as a child? His imaginary friends used to beat him up.
Well, that too, but no, like him like being. I'm not even sure which way he would be bending forward. It's either backwards or forwards, but he's his own centipede role. You know, like from the horror movie.
That I've never seen.
Okay.
Probably never.
Well, you don't need to. You know, the description of it was enough,
Yeah.
and I never watched it because the description of it was enough.
Pretty much.
So, but I can still make the joke about my prime minister being a centipede role to himself.
Yeah, but yeah, you didn't have to put the human bit in there.
No, because then you could roll him down the stairs. And it'd be like his own kind of slinky, too.
It's more like Slenderman with an afro wig.
I also really have to go to the bathroom, so I might do that real quick. If you both wouldn't mind do me a favor and just like, you know. I mean, Tracker's here, too. You mean...
Alive. Okay. Be alive.
Yes, but
Trucker's being very quiet, though.
he's always really quiet. You have to ask
Try
him
not to
stuff.
fall asleep.
You have to ask him stuff.
Okay, Trucker.
I'll be right back.
Yes.
What's the longest river in the world?
Do what now?
What is the longest river in the world?
Mississippi.
No.
Denial.
No.
But I'm bump.
No. It's the
Probably
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Because it actually goes a few hundred miles out to sea.
Guys. We also have the thing that I said stuff about earlier, but it wasn't actually live when we were talking about it. Crimes on the moon could soon be added to Canada's criminal code.
Oh dear.
Fox!
Well, considering we've already had our first, we have had our first space crime, and it was committed by a woman, lesbian.
Yeah, but it was also American, so why do we have a stake in this?
What
But
was
all
this
I
called?
know
What,
is
hold on,
they
what was
say
this?
the long arm of the Canadian law could extend way out onto the lunar surface as the government seeks to put Canadian astronauts on notice that if they commit crimes on the moon, they'll still face criminal charges as if they did it in Canada.
What was this crime in space, Trucker?
Hers was fraud.
Yes. Some sort of wire fraud.
No,
And I hate to say BG, but at this point,
you're ducking out.
no. I was gonna say, have any Canadians been to the moon?
I don't know.
Probably not. I mean, you'd be able to tell a Canadian astronaut coming to rescue, wouldn't he? He'd be the one with the with a spacesuit with the black pants and the red top and one of those silly hats on top of his helmet.
The RCMP.
Yeah. The Royal Canadian Moon Police.
Proposed amendment to the code, because apparently we have a fucking code, that would include criminal or crimes committed off the planet and on the moon, can be found deep inside the 443-page Budget Implementation Act, which the fuck? That was labeled Tuesday in the House of Commons. Now, why is a law being found in a Budget Implementation Act? What do those things have in common?
They learned it from the U.S. They probably learned that practice from the U.S. because that's the shit the U.S. does.
Hold on, Big Joe is asking if Buzz Aldrin was Canadian. No, he wasn't. He was American.
Oh, God.
Yes,
this
my child.
stupid continues.
In
The
fact,
criminal code already accounts for astronauts who may commit crimes during space flight to the International Space Station. So it's like astronauts are waiting until they're on the way to the space station to commit some big ass fucking crime? Like, the fuck?
To be fair, that kind of thing could only actually apply to Canadians.
Big Joe. Buzz Aldrin was born in New Jersey. I'll just something for Big Joe there.
Well,
stop talking.
I'd have to imagine that those kind of laws could only affect Canadians, because anything other than that, the whole international airspace rules would apply.
Oh, here's why. I found out here's why. But with Canada part of the Lunar Gateway project, which also includes a planned trip to the moon, the federal government has decided to amend the criminal code to incorporate those new space destinations. Because I guess when they vet these astronauts, they expect them to commit crimes on the moon.
Say leave it to Canada at this point to be so authoritarian that they're going to, make crimes, make it illegal to do anything up there just in case.
Chuck, I'm just wondering, will it be illegal to fart in a moon shuttle?
Oh no!
Yeah. It's probably illegal to have Taco Bell before you get onto the moon shuttle.
True. How about that one video that's floating around? Remember that one video of the guy up in the space station decided to bring a gorilla costume on there?
Yeah.
And prank everyone? I bet you they'd make that illegal up there now.
Yeah, probably.
There's this NASA astronaut who I don't know if he's still done his rotation in the ISS, but he used to put out videos about what it's like living there. Very interesting.
Yeah, I remember that.
But
you don't have to own a place to do this.
Hold on, Blind Girl. But Jen's Canadian, Big Joe.
Mm-hmm.
A Canadian
Toilet.
who, during a space flight, commits an act of omission outside Canada that it committed in Canada would constitute an indictable offense.
That's stupid, because once you're in orbit, you're in international territory. Therefore,
And up
you're
on the apparently now, when you're in orbit or on the moon, it's as if you have committed that act of omission in Canada.
I can't see that law standing. The first guy that tried to convict with that, he's gonna hammer them in the courts.
Considering the law still stands that on the way from Earth to the space station, you commit a crime. It's like you did it in Canada. And I'm like, in that moment, when you're flying up to a space station, are you really thinking and going, dude, this is my only chance to kill somebody and get away with it? Like,
Can I just call it square, Big Droat? To be fair with you, I never really cared which way I went when it came to bathroom, washroom, because whenever the teacher would try to like explain one way or the other why one was better than the other, it always made it seem like he didn't wash his hands. At the end of the explanation, it always made it sound like he wasn't washing his hands, because it's like, yes, it's the place where you go to poop, but then you wash your hands afterwards. You know, so it's implied that there's water and soap within the process of your relieving your bowels. So that's where I stand when it comes to that. I mean,
If I'm having a shit, I don't stand at all.
right? Well, I would hope not. I mean, I would hope not. But there's some bathrooms where you probably should.
apparently Canada has committed to participating in the Lunar Gateway, a NASA-backed orbiting space platform. So yeah. Apparently Canadians are going to be up there too. There, bud.
Woo! I hope at least one of them pulls down their pants and moons the world
Exactly.
on the moon.
I bet they put a red maple leaf sign on the moon.
Yes, but that would be considered racist nowadays, so who knows?
The thing is, it would be considered even more racist in 10 years because the radiation from the sun would bleach it white.
Or whiter.
No, just white.
Ah.
The flags that the Americans left on the moon are now all white.
Oh, really? That's cool, actually.
It's solar radiation. It bleaches the color out of them.
Mm.
The barricades back.
And I blame my cat.
Thunder has downtown Ottawa on edge. Well, if barricades are up, that's not downtown Ottawa on edge. That's the government on edge.
Yeah, they're
Call it like
a little
this.
upset about the bikers. The beep, 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 beep. I'm trying to make it sound like a moped because I don't own a bike. And if I did, it would probably be a moped because it would be funny and irritating.
Very funny if the first time we contacted aliens, the first we heard about it was we heard ding 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 ding. You've got that, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw the oh god, he's going for that look on your face.
Yeah, and then Green was like, I'm gonna pipe up. I thought a shitbox was a car, kind of like a Ford POS.
It's that too, Green. The Ford POS. Ford made a car called Person of Color. Sorry, POS. Sorry, my mistake.
No, you're fine.
I'm old. I can do these things.
It's one of my daytime griefs that I have to deal with when I go to work is my routine with my transit, and my grief with my homeless population is just how little effort they go into not pissing people off. So like the area that they're in has a very big long yard. Like that station has a long yard. So instead of going to the yard to use as their urinal, because that's what they're doing, they do it in front of the grate in front of the door. And I'm like, this is why people hate you. This is why people hate you.
Might be a vicious circle. They might be doing that because people hate them, and now that people hate them because they're doing that, they're doing it all the more.
Right? I'm like,
somebody's got to break this vicious circle.
just be like, go around the corner for love of God. The lawn doesn't care as much as we do.
How do you know?
Because I know. We
There-
paid for that
there-
shit.
There is mounting evidence that plants.
So like urine, yes, but you know what?
No,
That
hold on.
one urine
Jen,
spot is the sacrifice we can make. For the world.
There is mounting evidence that plants are far more self-aware than we previously given them credence to be.
Are you
So maybe-
are you afraid of the plants making us go crazy and we're gonna all kill ourselves for like pollen and shit?
You never know, but you never know. The plants, the grass may actually hate being pissed on.
Oh, I would imagine it would, since it usually dies in a brown spot. But you know what? That one little circle will save a lot of people.
Until that time when the grass works out how to get its own back.
It'll be long gone by then.
Will you?
It will turn back to dust. That is a lot of acid going in one spot. But I'm just saying. I don't get the logic. Like, I get there's a drain there, but the drain just really doesn't work the way they think it does. Sorry to say gross things. It's just one of those pet peeves I have lately. I walk by it and then I see them like, there's a lawn, right? I'm not saying this to be an asshat. I'm just like, please, little things.
For pity's sake, use a bottle.
Anything. I don't want to step on your pee. Gross.
I could be worse.
Yeah, it could be the other one, and they do that too.
Yeah, they could follow you home and do it outside your front window.
I wouldn't doubt they try that too, but I don't live by myself because this is a big complex. There's lots of other people, and the people who live downstairs from me are a little bit scary. For wrong reasons. They're
Hold
not
on,
super killers.
you're Canadian, so a little bit scary to you probably means average people to the rest of the world.
Oh, they probably are average. I'm just saying their fights are pretty loud. So I'm like, you know what? I bet you they could hold their own.
As loud as the fight that was in the background of Pat's stream.
Almost. His was fantastic, though.
Yeah.
I was trying to pierce something, something to do with the ass and like oil on the ass. And
You
Pat's
know what's
like-
going to be funny? You know what's going to be funny? If we find out later on that wasn't actually an argument, just somebody had their TV on loud.
It could have.
Because that's happened before.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I could see that.
All right, guys, I apologize, but I got to get off here.
No,
You need to
we're-
sleep, Chunky. You go and sleep.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I have to. I
Yeah,
gotta
have a
have
good
to.
one, mate.
I gotta be up early. So
Yeah.
I hope
thanks.
you, Chucker, I hope you
Hmm?
dream of unicorns and rainbows and fairies.
And AOC hitting on Elon Musk because it's funny.
Well, I was going to say
Wow.
unicorns, rainbows, and fairies stealing your hubcaps.
And Elon Musk running away with the meme face, like, the babe, come fuck me. And he's like, no. With the stand face, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I need to go to
So that being the case, just in case anybody hasn't realized, seeing that we're still live, thanks for coming out, everybody. Big Dro, get help, man. Get help.
And yeah, Big Dro needs serious help.
Lots of help.
Yeah. All right, bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good one. Thanks
Bye.
for joining us.
Yeah, seriously, Big Draw, you need either help or a rubber room.
Help with what?
See, denial is the first stage.
Right. All right, guys. Well, I think it is probably due past time because we are past the 2-hour mark by about 12 minutes. So you know what? We're doing pretty good.
Oh, wow. Well, that's because your voice is just so
Engrossing.
lulling.
Yeah, that one article, I'm like, don't get me wrong, this is a lot of really important information, but when I read it like this, I'm like, this is probably like ASMR for politics.
It was more scary ASMR, but yeah, fair.
I could do that, I don't mind, but yeah. I do actually have to work at an early time tomorrow too, so trucker
Hit the floor. Let the policy hit the floor. Let the
I would
policy-
like to thank everybody for the donations, by the way. I will. But I
Jack's
might
getting
be
lots of
trying to
pizza.
find someone to pay to take Jack swimming soon, so, thanks. Hats off and cheers,
It's too bad you can't rope in one of your brothers, because that would be fun for Jack too.
It would be.
I know they're hypochondriacs and other stuff and blah 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 blah, blah but
And they're just far away.
yeah, there's that too. It'd be nice to get a visitation from them for the summer, though. You know, I mean, I know that's not every week for Jack, but you know, I know that last year during the summer he seemed to have fun because
Or
of that kind of
fuck you swimming. Either way. Exactly. Like, anything I get on this show, I put to Jack, and thanks to Jen for being cool about it, and just thanks for all the donations. I really appreciate it.
Listen, I will read out what weird lyrics they want me to read out if I think it gets you an extra $5. I don't mind. Plus, it's funny.
Me too. I mean, I'll groan about it, but me too.
Anyway, yeah, I'm actually losing energy too. It's one of those things where like I'll pipe up every few seconds because I'm a hyper person in general, but even I have a limit to the amount of obnoxious air that I can contain. in my day.
Yeah, and there's only so many verses of Mana Mana you can do.
Oh, and don't forget about Monday.
Oh, that's true.
Special guest.
Oh yeah, we got Hammer coming in to join us on a Monday.
Yes.
Ooh.
He's big. He's
Round?
yeah. He's
round?
he's great. He's the Hammer did awesome stuff.
Love.
Yeah.
Guy.
The 1-ton Hammer, my co-host on the minutes. But you know what? It'll be a lot of fun. I think so.
Yeah.
I did a lot of little side marketing this week too. It's one of those things where like I might not have money. I might not have always been able to donate money to people, but I remind people of other people's existence. Like, oh, I'm gonna just say it because I know I got a giggle out of at least 2 of those folks. But the quartering Jeremy did a little stream the other day, and I was like, I know for a fact that he's stolen jokes from Ranting Monkey before. So it's a joke. It's a Ranting Monkey joke that, you know, you'll put something out there for him to read. Well, guess who was visiting Jeremy? Bering was visiting Jeremy. So I was like, oh, hey, one of the few people who absolutely can explain to the quartering what a turtle butter cave rave actually really is. Or raid, I mean. And, yeah, Bering absolutely started laughing. He's like, I remember those.
Bering, the Australian guy.
Yes.
Yes.
With the really hot wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
remember him too. He's been doing more videos again lately. So I'm the type of person who's a good friend. I'm just saying it.
Yeah, he's actually a good singer.
He is actually pretty good. I have heard some of his stuff. I'm just saying Bering is never going to watch one of these, but if he ever does, if you wanted to make a lot of people happy, do another stream with Ranting Monkey again and bring Sugar Tits this time because we miss Sugar Tits more than we miss you. I'm just saying.
That's the thing. When I used to catch Sugar Tits tweets and I'd type in, would you like to ride with Batman? She always types in yes.
Well, she was. I love both of them. You know, it'd be nice to see them both, and
They play well off each other.
they do. But I'd like to see them on a Ranting Monkey stream, just because they used to do that a lot. I'd like to. That's one of the things where, yet again, I'm going back to Elon Musk. But if you could free up YouTube, trust me, the waves of money that will flow your way for both you and your company will be amazing. Because the advertisements will be everywhere.
Especially if you reverse YouTube to more close to what it originally was.
That's what I mean.
I mean, you can't put it exactly like it originally was, otherwise you wouldn't be money off it.
Well, no, because I mean, there was some stuff that did actually have to change. Like the stuff with the kids' YouTube had to change. And honestly, I don't think they did shit anyway. So maybe if he bought it, he could actually clear that shit up too.
Could he get rid of queer kids stuff?
Yes. Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, if they're not doing illegal stuff, no.
Borderline.
Is it?
I think. Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's borderline.
Is it borderline? See, that's one of those things where, like, I really wish you wouldn't do that. I really wish you wouldn't. Like, it's one of those things where you want somebody to have a chance to at least speak their side for that freedom of speech shit. But when you start dangling your fingers into places where you're like, okay, you're getting a little bit too close to being bad with children. I don't know that they always necessarily have that intention, and that's why I resent
Hey, if
her.
you're a parent showing queer kid stuff to your kids, you're some kind of fucked and should have never had kids. Just
I mean,
saying.
I will be fair and say that the Lindsay person who came up with it and presents it thinks she's doing a good thing for children, but she really isn't.
That's the
No.
thing that makes it. That's what
Hard.
messes me up with it, because I do think from her angle, she really thinks she's reaching out to kids that aren't being listened to by adults or something. Like, I think that's what she thinks she's
What
doing.
road to hell paved with sweet, cute, innocent
Is not,
intent.
and that's just it. That's what makes it sad. Like
Teddy needs rescuing.
I wish someone with stronger but better wording could say that to her. You know, like maybe if you were gearing your stuff towards kids who were, you know, of the age where, yeah, they are questioning that kind of stuff, and actually make sure that it's actually clean. Like, you know, and I'm not saying that to judge her. I'm just saying because you know, even I have to question what I say to a kid, because I don't always know. Like, I think I do. And I think I go with PG-13, but not PG-13. Like, you know what I mean. But even still, like if it's something that's online and you're producing it, you really kind of have to know the age group and whether or not it's actually appropriate. Because if she was doing that for like teenagers who are trying to come to terms with their own sexuality, I would be a little bit more...
It wouldn't be okay either, because she would be like one of those teachers that says, and most of the time a doctor, and then the baby's born and a doctor makes
That's
a guess.
not what I said.
No, but that kind of talking is what queer kid stuff does.
Yeah. One of the things, my one's contention with it is actually the theme tune, because it's aimed at preschoolers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the theme tune has the words "gay means happy." It hasn't meant happy since I was a kid.
No.
And saying little kids, preschoolers, they're going to claim that they're gay, meaning they're happy.
Yeah. It used to also be like a form of a party. At least
Yeah.
yeah.
It used to mean bright, happy, and colourful.
Mhm.
That's why it was co-opted. Wow, big word for me, that, I know.
It's one of
Why,
those...
like, even teenagers shouldn't have access to queer kid stuff, because, like, if it was all of the gay stuff without the trans, okay. For example, in a book where there's a mama bear and there's another mama bear, okay, have that. That's fine. But with the trans stuff in there, yes, show it to teenagers, and any teenagers that want to be in with the new T group, especially a bunch of women, are going to be, there's going to be an epidemic of
that's
that.
kind of the problem is yet again, I'm thinking of like old school queer club, not new school queer club, because old school
Yeah,
queer
the
club,
queer kid stuff is new school.
that's the
Yeah.
unfortunate thing, is like I'm talking about the kids who were just like, and it's not even like it's still a big thing. Like most kids come out as gay and it's not a big thing, but it's more of just the actually questioning what you are. That's the thing that's really upsetting, is like they're limiting the places where those kids can actually go to ask those questions to figure that stuff out.
True,
You know-
Jen, because even nowadays, even in the West, there are still a hell of a lot of places where if you come out as gay, you're going to get beaten up, or worse, you're going to be found dead in a ditch.
And that's why I really kind of resent these groups a little bit, because like that was legit a thing. I remember kids being afraid of like questioning that, like, you know, because a lot of kids aren't gay. They go through a phase where they're just questioning. Or at
Roughly
least-
90-something% of kids are not gay,
Yes. You know, and
and
even
99% of kids are not transgendered or transsexual.
And even then, questioning was something new for our generation. Like, nobody had that terminology, questioning. What the hell is questioning? Oh, well, you're wondering whether or not you're gay or not. I'm like,
Yeah, but a teacher is not where I want them asking that.
and that's
Oh.
just, that's the thing. Like, like there is really nowhere for them to really go. Like you would think it would be safer with other kids, but it's not, because other kids can be
They may
predators
have
too.
nowhere to go, but that doesn't mean where they can go is a teacher.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You know, I mean, they never really were supposed to do that, because the teacher would be like, "Oh no, this is dirt. Like this is gonna get me in trouble." Like most of the good
Yeah.
teachers that I knew were like that. They would be like, "You should go talk to your, maybe not if you had problems with your parents, they might refer you to
Counselor. There you go.
Yes.
School counselor, guidance counselor, that. There. Talk
Or
about
your
it
family
there.
doctor.
But
Yeah,
a stranger that's getting paid to teach everything else? No.
Yeah, when I was
No.
a kid, one of the rules for teachers was they literally had to maintain a distance. Your teacher was not your friend.
No. Like they might help you link up to someone who is more of a professional for that kind of help.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
And
they
a
wouldn't
guidance
do it.
counselor would be it.
Yeah, there's really a lot of things that they've really moved in terms of what was actually acceptable and not acceptable. And it does actually make me feel bad for kids who are possibly gay. It's still easier for them right now than it is for anybody who was gay in the past, though. And I'm not saying that to throw shade. I'm saying that because, yeah, unless you're in a certain country or a certain area of the country, most people are still like, I don't give a shit, just don't tell me too much.
Yeah.
It's really it. I
And
just
you
don't
know,
want to
he's-
know about details about. I don't even want to know the details about straight people. Okay.
Jen, I'm thinking about you when I say this. You know what you said about knocking this on the head because you're tired and you've gone over the 2-hour mark.
I know.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
almost 2.5.
that's right. We were going to say bye. Whoops.
Where would you get beaten up for saying you're homosexual? Well, okay, I'm gonna sound like a racist, but I'm just gonna point out the obvious countries where, you know, sexuality is legal. There are countries where that's still a thing. I'm not gonna list them because we know that doesn't go anywhere.
There are lots of places in the Western world where that will happen.
Yes, there are still some places in the Western world where that will still happen.
We all know places near at hand where that will happen.
It's just it's not the same as it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, not even close. Not even close. I'm saying that there are many places where people can go where they can be gay, and it's okay. They'll be fine. I do feel for the kids who might be gay, who are honestly being preyed upon right now. They are. Regular kids are too. All of the kids are being preyed upon, but you know, the gay kids absolutely being preyed upon. I'm sorry, that little show that we were talking about earlier, and we might leave this as like the last story. I'll let you do something funny if you want to, Batman, but you know, that does really bother me. Just because you're gay as a kid doesn't mean it's okay for predators to be after you or for your parents
Yeah.
to sign
Rise
up.
Upon You, where everybody can see it on Discovery. Isn't that supposed to be like education shit?
Jen, you're right. Just because you're gay doesn't mean that you should have predators out for you. So any of you out there who are gay and you see these these 3 red dots appearing on your chest, run.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because the predator is after you.
Very funny. But no, it's a thing. Like I think they are actually preying on them. So regardless of whether or not these kids are actually straight or gay or
Not
any-
just preying on them, they're using them. And
Yeah.
we really should end it here, because otherwise you'll be up all night.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I won't just be up all night. I'll probably be in trouble with the channel because I will have said something I shouldn't have. Elon Musk doesn't own YouTube yet, so and I don't think he will buy it just because I asked him to.
I think he will.
Do you think he will?
I think he will.
Maybe. I hope he does, because, like I said, the freedom of entertainment, the freedom of moving ideas, that would actually be
Well, apparently he's already bought it from what I've heard.
really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like you, but I ain't a gold digger. I'm just saying that opportunities are things that I support. I think did we do any party ways? Like Batman.
Yep.
We
did.
We
Said,
did.
all right, everybody, we love you and thanks.
Okay.
Yep. Good night.
All right. And going back to here.
Don't do drugs.
Well, yeah, don't do drugs. I'm going to do the intro, which is also my outro, and click.